Good morning. How's everybody doing today? Yesterday, Mr. Painter and I were super busy, but I did manage to get that video edited and it is currently loading up to YouTube and it ought to be ready in about 30 minutes. So that was the mesquite flour chocolate cookie recipe. I can finally say that after saying it enough times. Oh my God, it's kind of a tongue twister. It's just a basic cookie recipe with mesquite flour. Last year we harvested mesquite pods and made flour and never got around to making anything really with the mesquite flour, so I wanted to do that for y'all before it came that time of the year to harvest more pods and make more flour, in case anybody actually followed along and did that project with me. Meg is happy to get out. We're going to get a long walk in this morning because today's a bowling day for Mr. Painter. But I want to try to do a little yard work too. Need about an hour a day working out in our yard to slowly get it ready for gardening season. And now that we're getting a little warmer temperatures, I'm needing to add water to some of the plants in the grow room daily. And it's nice to see all that growth happening. The sweetness melons haven't germinated yet, but they like to be a minimum of 70 degrees. So I think those probably won't come up until our nighttime temperatures are warmer. Everybody dig. But the miniature butternut honey nut squash are coming up. Cucumbers are coming up. We have tomatoes that are growing. And of course the hydroponic cherry tomatoes, which really are my favorite for that growing space. Probably going to stick some more of those seeds so those come up. Those actually last for quite a while. I've had those going for a while. I guess as long as they're healthy, they keep producing. I tell you, that spider mite spray makes all the difference in the world as far as like keeping your plants healthy here, because no matter where you are, you're going to have spider mites. And it's just very basic. Chop up some onion, some garlic, and put it in a quart of water with some cayenne pepper and let it soak overnight. Strain it, put it in a spray bottle, and spray your plants. And that works phenomenally well. Hey, Tiger Paws. Welcome to the channel. Meg is half Siberian Husky and half American Staffordshire Shire Terrier. Kind of an interesting mix. We actually adopted her from a shelter, and I was really surprised to find out that she was an intentional breed. We did a DNA test because they said she was a shepherd mix and we knew better. Yeah, she's pretty awesome. She's small, but she's pretty strong, and she's a really good girl. It was a lot of work. She was pretty traumatized when we got her from the shelter, but it was totally worth it. She's probably the most loyal dog I've ever had. One of my cousins told me that dog's gonna be your best bud, and I tell you what, she definitely looks out for me when my husband's not home. She's my little sidekick. We named her Meg, but we probably should have named her Shadow. How are you doing today? So looking out at our mini orchard, our apple tree is waking up. It's got a couple little blooms on it. And I think the almond's going to be next. I have some grafts on the almond tree from the apricot. And I'm hoping those will take. One of them got blown off when we have... Oh, thanks. I'm glad you like the name. Thanks for joining the channel. Mountie Dew, am I saying that right? Got a little sunlight out here. But yeah, excited about a growing season, but it's always a lot of work getting that going. I have some seeds going to put outside in the garden, in our grow room. And I need to start a few more. I'm going to narrow it in this year though. I'm not going to have as much stuff growing out there. I'm going to focus more on the stuff that's just really done well. Maybe some of the things that don't like the outside environment will try to just grow in the grow room. My husband built me a 50 square foot room It's a little more sturdy. Oh, you like apples? I love apples. We have an Anna apple tree, and we have a delicious apple tree, and we've had the Anna apple tree the longest, and that one is small and compact, and it produces a lot of apples. And what really works with that in the desert is it wakes up early when it's still cool, so it puts on its fruit before it gets too hot. I like all kinds of apples. I'm not really a Rome apple person, but this Anna apple tree is my favorite because when it first sets on, they taste like Granny Smith apples, but if you're able to leave the apples on long enough, they turn a golden color with crimson stripes, and they taste just like apple pie. They're so good. You got a huge bag of apples? That's awesome. Apples are really good for you. I think when they say an apple a day keeps the doctor away, oh my gosh. Wow, look at that ground squirrel. Did you see that? I don't know if I caught that. Boy, Meg is pretty intrigued by that, and don't worry, she can't get it. It went in his hole, but Meg is pretty excited about that ground squirrel. Holy cow. It was flying across the ground. Anyway, we were talking about apples. Our Anna apple tree, it wakes up early, and that works out really good because once it gets really hot, you can't have too much fruit on a tree because it really stresses a tree. Last summer we had 5 days of 120, and Hey Irfan, doing good. Thanks for joining the channel. I think I remember you. We had 5 days of 120 last summer, and that was pretty hard on our trees. We didn't lose any of our trees. It's kind of a miracle, and I'm thankful for that. But when it gets really hot like that, you can't really have any fruit on your trees. You got to pick it because, in other words, it's too hard on the tree to cope. But the Anna apple is waking up right now, and the delicious apple wakes up later. Last year we actually got our first apples on it. It looks like it's going to be a really sturdy tree. It looks really really healthy, but they were little tiny ones. So it'll be interesting to see as it matures whether we start getting the same size apples that we get on the Anna apple tree or if it's baby apples. But you know what? I'll eat any apple, right? I'm not particular. It's a beautiful morning out here. Saw a couple of quail in the yard, not too many. We kind of slept in a little bit. Usually those guys are out there pretty early. First the doves show up, then the quails show up in the yard. Oh, I'm so sorry, Tiger Paws, you're sick. I don't know what country you're in, but there's an awful lot of bugs going around here in our country. I've seen the flu, RSV, and COVID, so everybody stay well out there. Take care of yourselves, try to stay healthy, right? We stir up your immune system. I'm the one who has to do that. Boy, I tell you, I take pretty good care of myself, but I tend to catch these things, unfortunately, but I get over them, so I hope you get over it too. When we get done walking, I'm going to make myself a juice with some fresh citrus and maybe some broccoli leaves and some parsley, a little pineapple. Kind of use mostly what we have. Once our Swiss chard gets going really good, I'll be doing that. Swiss chard makes really fabulous juice for green juices. Well, try not to be too scared. Sometimes I feel like the media wants to scare us a lot, but definitely take care of yourself. You know, the best advice is for anyone who is ill, stay home and get over it, at least until you're not coughing and sneezing. Try not to spread it, right? And get enough sleep. Eat healthy, right? Something that I've started doing is I'm making a yogurt that has multiple strains of probiotics in it. And I try to have a spoon of that twice a day. Years ago, a nurse told me that, well, I was asking her, how do you stay well when you work with sick people? And she said she ate yogurt every day. Well, I think most yogurts you buy at the store only have like one strain of bacteria in it. So I try to make a yogurt that has like several strains. Anyway, we all got to do what we can, right? And it's not enough just to have a probiotic. You have to make sure that you're eating food that feeds the probiotic. It's actually a living thing. So they like fiber, right? So have some veggies. Oh, got to get a bag out for Miss Meg. Are you in Pennsylvania? Is that what you're saying? A lot of people sick there? I'm sorry. Good girl. Okay, I got to get a bag out and pick up after Miss Meg. So give me a minute here. Get that taken care of. All right, just a minute. Wait for Mama. Wait for Mommy. Good girl. What a good girl. All right, I'm back. And Meg just happens to be by a trash can, so that's perfect. Come on. Okay, we got a distraction here. Got a couple more dogs out walking. Let's see if we can get rid of this quick. Come on. Good girl. Come on. I know, it's so exciting. So exciting. Good morning. Come on, Meg. Aw. Have a nice day. Come on. Come on, you little stinker. You be good for Mommy. So yeah, try to be healthy. Get your vitamin C in. Natural is best, right? Try to get it natural. Eat some citrus if you can. Have an apple. That's what I'm gonna do. But yeah, I love our apple trees. Our apricot tree hasn't done very well, only because it got a borer infestation, and I've tried really hard to get rid of the borers, but it just hasn't worked. So I have a couple experiments going. I'm trying to graft apricot twigs onto the almond because those are compatible species, and then I'm trying to root an apricot cutting in our grow room because it's humid. It's like the perfect environment, right? So we'll see if any of those experiments work. If they don't, I'm going to get a loquat. Loquats are kind of a mixture in flavor between a plum, an apricot, and what's the other fruit? I can't remember, but I feel like I would like that. So they're supposed to be super tolerant of the heat too. I've tried growing a lot of things here, and it really comes down to whether or not it will live in your climate. And it's not just about the heat, it's also about the humidity. So don't be trying to grow an avocado in the desert, right? Avocados like humidity, coffee likes humidity, green tea likes humidity. I have a green tea going in the grow room. I've tried growing those inside and outside and it didn't work. We're gonna see if we can do it in our grow room. Come on, Meg, let's go over here. What? Come on. Oh my goodness, you are so excited. What is it? Plant life waking up. It's funny, there's this flower that grows here that makes a really beautiful white trumpet-like flower. And I've always thought it was so beautiful, and I recently learned that it's poisonous. So it's beautiful and poisonous. Sometimes things are just meant to be left to grow in nature, not cultivated in your yard. Actually, a lot of the landscaping here in the desert is poisonous. What are you looking for? Come on, come on. Let's leave that alone. Morning. Morning. For example, the fire sticks cactus, it's really pretty. Looks kind of like coral, and at the end of the summer, it kind of gets a really coral colored, right? I guess that's why they call it fire sticks. But the sap on that is really caustic, so when you prune it, you have to be careful not to get it on your skin. And of course, you don't want your dog trying to eat it. But one way to know if something's poisonous or not, the rabbits won't eat it. They eat anything that's not poisonous, trust me. What are you looking for? I saw something moving over there. Well, I sure appreciate y'all joining in today, especially the new people. We always love to see our long-term subscribers come back when they can. I know everybody's got different schedules, and as it gets hotter out, we'll be out earlier in the morning. I could have been out a little earlier today. Once it gets hot here, we have to be out early in the morning. But thanks for joining us. I hope everybody has a blessed day today. Hi, Leland. I guess I'll hang in here just a little bit longer. How are you doing today? Come on, Meg. Come on. Thanks for joining the channel. So anybody that's ever wanted to make a very basic mesquite flour cookie, gluten-free, vegan, there's going to be a recipe coming out here pretty quick on the channel. Awesome. We're doing good too. We're having a great day. What part of the world do you hail from? We're in the desert of southern Nevada. Out walking Miss Meg. Oh, awesome. Well, thank you. I appreciate your support. Thanks for returning. Glad that you were able to catch us today. We're getting a nice walk in, and then we're going to do a little work in the backyard, trying to get prepped for our garden this summer. Got a lot of stuff to do. Not too much weeding. I find that if you weed regularly over a long period of time, you kind of get rid of those things. Now with our wind weed seeds can always blow in, but it actually gets better if you stay on it. Well, thanks for joining the channel today. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a blessed day today. Thanks for watching.